Welcome to the NBA Pub Hub, Friday, February 25th. Ian Cameron, Skee Profit, Wham. And first time since the All-Star break, we're going to check in with Skee Profit. He'll be with us momentarily as well, ready to break down the Friday
I'm Dutch Boy Fresh,
NBA card.
Dutch Boy Fresh. Hey, Skee Profit is Skee Profit.
That's it.
Double, he
Absolutely.
gave you a double ski.
Yes, it did. Ready to break down the Friday card. We got a huge card coming up. What is it, 9 games? So we're ready to break it down. It's nice to have the first day over with because, quite honestly, it was tricky. We saw some games. Minnesota came back to beat Memphis. Chicago barely hung on for a point spread cover last night. Some weird results. Look at the Pistons beating Cleveland outright as a home underdog. So we had all kinds of crazy results last night on the NBA board. Golden State pounded, not so much surprising there. Denver beat down Sacramento 128-110. So some interesting results, but that was in the past. We're turning our attention to today's card on this Friday. Let's start with the Houston Rockets and the Orlando Magic. We've got Orlando 4-point home favorites, 235 the total in this game. The total's just been absolutely just crushed to the over. I mean, this is a huge, huge move on the total. 7 points. You don't see that very often. 7-point move toward the over here in this game. And look, I know the Rockets are not a team I'm ever interested betting unders, particularly going into the break. They were just over every game, giving up 139, 135, 124, 142. Like I said yesterday, sometimes when the break ends and the second half begins, a team flips a switch, plays better. And if they're struggling in one area before the break, a lot of times they correct it and they play better in that area after the break. I just don't think Houston's ever going to get better defensively, though. That's my problem. I just don't think it's possible with this group. They've had so many games to show you some kind of defense. They just don't show it. They're all about scoring the ball, not so much stopping anybody. Orlando was kind of that same team as well going into the break, where they all of a sudden were giving up 132 to Phoenix, 121 to Denver, 130 to Atlanta. Just horrible in their last few games going into the break at the defensive end as well, this Magic team. And as I've mentioned with them going into the break, they got Anthony and Suggs, their backcourt intact. Franz Wagner was out for a bit. He's come back as well. We've also seen Orlando play a little bit better offensively as well. So I understand, based on the way these teams were going into the break, how they played both ends of the floor. I can understand fully why people love the over here. Question is now, can you bet it at 235 when it was 228.5 at one point? I'm not sure. I'd still lean over, but you've lost a lot of value in this one. Can they flip a switch and play better on defense after the break? I don't know if it's possible for Houston because we've seen them be shit defensively all first half. All of a sudden the break's here and it's going to change things. I don't believe it. So I'd still be interested only in the over. Just note that 7 points lost value. That's a lot of, that's a big move if you haven't gotten in on it already. Dutch, what do you think here, Houston, Orlando?
Yeah, man. Real quick, salute to the ladies, gents, and DJs for tuning in. You already know it's all love. You know, it's Fresh Friday, so be sure to hit the motherfucking like button like I just hit that fresh plain of Mai Tai Skittle cake. Get you right where you need to be. Yeah, man. Also, share the video as well. Muchly appreciated. Let's get all these motherfuckers in here because, we about to hit them straight over the head. Big shout out to our guy, Zachary, Jay Wills, Viper, DC Sports Breaks. I see you, my dude. But yeah, a lot of the chat already knows where I'm going with this motherfucker. Back with this bitch. Hey, and big shout out to our guy, Big Show, who's not here today, but somebody could do it. Somebody hit the backwood for me.
Somebody out there.
Somebody.
We'll do it.
Yeah, come on, Bobano. Come
on. There we go. Great. So used to the man, the Big Show, hitting that thing, but no, we'll hit it today. We'll hit that backwood. And I know when Dutch is talking, I better have my trigger finger ready to go because we're going to be seeing a lot of backwoods, I'm sure, as per usual. That's the one thing that hasn't changed. Hey, Houston's not going to change on defense after the All-Star break. Why should the number of backwood quotient for Dutch change after the All-Star break as well? You're still going to see plenty of them on a daily basis here on the NBA Pub Hub. Wham, what do you think here, Houston, Orlando?
Yeah, I got action on this game here. It's not a backwood for me. I'm going to take KPJ over 6.5 assists. Got it at minus 115 last night. I think you get minus 121, something around there right now. Obviously he's that guy. He's had 7 or more assists, 5 out of the last 7 games. You extend upon that, it's even better than that. So I look at him to be one of those guys that's getting the points distributed around. I do expect these guys to give up a lot of points themselves. Orlando are allowing just about 118 points per game, 14.6 3-point makes for opponents, which is dead last in that regard. 39% from 39% from three to opponents from three. They're going to be allowing that up. So maybe Garrison Matthews, what I'm saying? I see him out there with the honeys and shit on social media. So maybe he out there hopping and shit doing his thing today. So, but I like KPJ today. I think he gets over the assist there. I do expect this to be a somewhat of a competitive game. So I don't think any side I'm going to waste my money here on that. But I like KPJ though. That's the best bet for me in this game.
All right, Kevin Porter Jr. props here for Wham. Now, if these two teams play to their points per game average that they've allowed on defense over the last 5 games, if going into the break, that is, if they play to that average tonight, there's going to be 248 total points in the game because Houston's given up 130 in the last 5 games combined on average and 118 for Orlando. It tells you how bad they've been defensively. So maybe people see this as way too low. Maybe that's why, because if you look at the two teams defensively, the last 5 games, they're averaging defensively what would amount to 248 total points tonight. So we'll see if that's indeed the case. What do you think here, Skee? Welcome back, my friend. We haven't seen you since the break. What do you think here, Houston, Orlando?
First off, I think Dutch leaving some money on the table. This is some Zara right here. I like this game, and Ian, I agree with everything you're saying as far as the total has moved up a lot, but you still can only bet it one way. There's no way you come in and bet both of these teams under. I mean, you guys are reading off statistics. Pretty much both of these defenses just suck. They're terrible. Houston is the absolute worst in the NBA defensively. Like Ian said, I have last 2 weeks numbers. I have 133.7 that they're allowing. And I know if you go to like the last 10 games, it's still 125. So both teams terrible. And you got to take advantage of them somehow. It's going to be a lot of assists. Like my guy Wham said, I'm on KPJ with him over 6.5. And it's going to be a lot of points scored. So on the other side, I'm going to go to Franz Wagner. And, when he's facing these pretty bad defenses, bottom 10 defenses, he's averaging higher than 17 points per game. You look at Houston, who's going to be starting at small forward tonight. I think it's Eric Gordon. And no wonder small forwards are averaging like 22 points per game the last 10 against Houston. So I like that matchup. And those are 2 props I'm rolling with, Wagner and KPJ.
Before you go, Babeno, I am on Wagner as well, over 1.5 3-point makes at plus 124. I forgot about that one, bro. Appreciate you.
No problem at all. Good stuff. All right, we go to next game on the card here. Oklahoma City and Indiana. We've got Indiana 7-point favorites. 226 and a half the total. And man, here's another huge move over the total. 216 to 226. 10 points. 10 in terms of the over move. And Phoenix and OKC, we talked about it yesterday. That game got slammed to the over as well. And it actually ended up cashing. It actually started out pretty slow. But the second half, it was a shit ton of points. It ended up going over the total. And look, they're a much better offensive team, OKC, obviously, with SGA back. We said for weeks he'd be coming back after the All-Star break. He did last night against Phoenix, and definitely helps them offensively. And he did last night, 32 points. Great performance. Unfortunately, didn't get a lot from anybody else outside of Pokusevski. It got double digits, Giddey and Mann as well. But Phoenix put the clamps down in the fourth quarter. They ended up winning 124-104. And as much as they're improved with SGA back on the floor offensively, the Thunder, they're not as good defensively without Lou Dort. And he continues to be out for the Thunder. There's no question about that. That hurt them. Thank goodness last night I split it up with first half full game on the Thunder because they covered in the first half and then couldn't hang around long enough for the full game. Credit to the Suns, though. They took care of business in what I thought was a tricky spot for them, playing tonight at home as well. But they got the job done. Now the Thunder, coming off that 20-point loss last night. I don't want to hear this, and I know there's some people that this is the lazy handicapping as far as I'm concerned. Not lazy, but I don't agree with it. That people are going to say, and I know there's going to be people on Twitter that are capping this game and say, oh, but it's a back-to-back for Oklahoma City. I don't want to hear it. It's an all-star break that they just came off. Nobody's tired. Come on. It's a back-to-back. Nobody's tired. They should be ready to go, fully fresh as it gets, on a back-to-back situation here. This is not your normal back-to-back. You've had a week off. Everybody's fine. And as far as I'm concerned, I'm back to the Thunder tonight. Thunder buddies again, even though we got only half of that bet last night. Plus 6.5. I think there's something to a team having played one game under their belt since the break, and Indiana not having played yet since the break. I think there's some cohesion that's an advantage for OKC. Indiana's still banged up beyond belief. Brogdon's a game-time decision for the Pacers, although it looks like he's going to play, upgraded to probable. Still Duarte as well, a little bit hobbled. We'll see if he's able to get back in there. He's questionable. Miles Turner's still out. I think the Thunder could still hang in this game from start to finish. We're asking a very bad Indiana team to lay 6.5 and 7, something I'm not willing to do. So I like the Thunder here. Just like last night, we're going to try the first half and full game, +4, and also +6.5, +7 for the full game with OKC. So +4 first half, +7 full game. I wouldn't talk you out of the over. I mean, Indiana's going to play faster without Turner, not as much defensively, not good defensively anyway, terrible, in fact. And OKC, SGA back helps them offensively. They're going to struggle to stop teams without Dort. He's their best defender. So I agree with the move to the over. It's just a question now. You're talking 10 points. You're getting the butt end of the number. It's not exactly like you're getting the best of it at 226, but I get why the total went up. Skee, what do you think here, OKC and Indiana?
Somebody in the chat put a line out there. They said they're taking the over for backwoods for Dutch at 5.5. I'm gonna challenge him. I'm gonna take the under. You know, I do think he's gonna back with this game, but I think he's gonna come with some heat after this game. For me on this one, you know, all I'm gonna say is I hear Ian keep saying back to back. All I keep thinking is back to back backwood for me. I don't want any parts of this game. So pass.
How about you, Dutch? Is this backwood number 2?
It's funny, my man Skee touched on that because MD24 is my man that set the line. I think Zachary said 3.5, and yeah, I definitely take over on that motherfucker. But 5.5, that's a good line. That's a good line. Pretty sharp on
I think
that,
it's gonna stuck at 5. It's gonna be at 5.
It's pretty fucking sharp with that hooker, bro. But yeah, man, I need money. Big shout out, Star Child. I see you. Yeah, you called the under earlier. Good shot on that. Good call on that, my dude. Don Mack, Ray Charles, everybody. We like Brogdon over 4.5 assists plus a hundo. I ain't mad at that. I believe he's back, ready to rock and roll. Big shout out to our guy Ron Crawford. I see you, my dude. But yeah, backwood this motherfucker.
All right, there it is. Backwoods time for there we go. Look at that. I got the graphics working. Look at this guy. He's figuring things out here. Producing and hosting. Multitasking right here on the NBA Pub Hub today. Wham, what do you think here? Thunder and Pacers.
Yeah, man, this is a backwood for me too. I'll just say it like that. Pacers hanging 7. What the fuck is this? Crazy as hell. What type of Malcolm Brogdon are we expecting to come back here? Like, what this is rookie of the year, Malcolm Brogdon? This some shit. I'll leave it at that, man. Pacers, they're no defenders. You know, Brissett be trying out there. He be trying to weak side helps, but for the most part, it ain't really nobody down there. I think even the big man, I forgot the big man name, Bataze, the freaking dandruff guy, the dandruff guy, Bataze. Yeah, he's going to be questionable here, so they might even be down a big guy there. So, yeah, I don't see no other way but to go OKC. But man, the way they fucking folded in the fourth quarter last night to make us lose the best bet yesterday at 10.5, that it sucked ass because they were pretty much in the game all the way until the fourth quarter. Down only 3 by the fourth quarter, and then just gave up a 30-13 run to get smacked up by 20 points. It's terrible to hear how that happened. So, but I'll just leave it alone for the most part. But I'm rooting for you though, Babana. I think you got something.
There we go. So backwood for Dutch, backwood here. There you go. One more time here for Wham as well with the Thunder and the Pacers. All right, next up we've got Toronto and Charlotte. Raptors and Hornets. Raptors 2-point road favorites in this game. 225 the total between these two. This is another one where, and I find that we didn't really get too many instances last night where the team struggling going into the All-Star break turned it around. You know, Chicago and the teams that were red hot going into the break still found ways to, outside of maybe Cleveland. Cleveland's the one exception. They lost to Detroit, which was a bit surprising. But a lot of the teams that had the momentum going into the break didn't have that, you know, rhythm disrupted or momentum from playing well going into the break. Sometimes you go into the break, you play well, the break hits, and then you can't get it back again when the break, when you come out of the break and you struggle a bit. But Chicago got it done. Toronto's in that same boat. I mean, they're a team that was playing, both of these teams in opposites. Toronto, does the break hurt them? They were playing awesome going into the break, terrific basketball. Does the break disrupt their rhythm? Does the break disrupt their momentum? Whereas Charlotte, does the break give them a chance to hit the reset button, flip the switch, and play better? Because not many teams were playing worse than Charlotte going into the break. So how do you look at that? I don't know. But I know one thing for sure. I need to see Charlotte step up before I put money on them right now. That's just the way it is. I mean, they just haven't been playing well. Their defense hasn't been good. They've just struggled mightily. It looks like they're going to have, at least a little bit healthier going into this game other than Hayward. Ball, Rozier, Bridges, Washington, Plumlee in. For the Raptors tonight, no OG Anunoby. Very surprising, but suddenly a fractured finger that he has suffered. And he is obviously going to be out for at least Friday's game, tonight's game, and maybe for games after that as well. There was some talk that Fred VanVleet wasn't going to play, maybe resting the knee, but he is going to play, and it's his birthday. It's birthday Fred VanVleet today. So sometimes that means the player plays. I don't know if there's something to it, if it happens all the time, but I know there's a lot of instances where a player on his birthday really balls out, really plays well. You could see that from Fred VanVleet. And the one thing he'll probably do is probably take more jump shots here because OG is out. So someone's got to pick up that offensive slack a little bit for the Raptors tonight. Don't know if I'll get involved because of the OG injury and, a little concern about the All-Star break really disrupting things for the Raptors, but I'd still take the Raptors or pass in this game. That's where I lean. Probably going to pass the game, though, personally. Skee, what do you think here? Toronto, Charlotte.
I like Siakam today, and I know his points went up a point. I think since I bet it, probably since the OG news, like you mentioned, Ian. But Hornets, they're bottom 10 points, rebounds, and assists allowed, like everything. You know what I'm saying? They're terrible. It's no wonder they're not winning any games. I look at Siakam. You can go points, rebounds, assists. I did both. At 22.5 for points, 36.5 for points, rebounds, assists. But he's hit that 36.5 number 8 out of 13 times versus bottom 10 defenses. And when he's facing these terrible teams, these teams that are bottom 10 in points, rebounds, and assists, he's hit it 4 out of 5 times. And I saw VanVleet might even be game time. I didn't get an update if he's actually out, but if they're missing him,
he's
in.
Gonna
lean on. He's in.
Yep.
Okay, they're still gonna. I mean, I still like Siakam to get it whether he was in or out, but he's hit his points number 6 of his last 8 games. He's played Charlotte twice. He averages 24, 10, and 10. I'm doubling up on Siakam tonight.
All right, Siakam. And Siakam was just absolutely cooking before the break. We'll see if he can regain that form here. Wham, what do you think here, Raptors, Hornets?
Yeah, I definitely agree with that Siakam pick there. Yeah, man, he's been hitting pretty fucking well at that rate over the last 14 games, 64% hitting over 23.5 points. So I do like that look a lot. Definitely was going to hit my car here. What I really like the most is probably the over here. I think you're going to see both of these teams try to get in transition, try to force turnovers. Both of them are forcing turnovers at the number 1 and number 2 over the last 5 games before the end of the break there. So, they got that philosophy coming into this game. And then as far as what they have been doing for transition buckets, number 2 and 3 in fast break points in that same span. So I expect them to probably be doing something of that nature here. It's just hard for me to trust this Hornets team at all. It's a short number, and I think it's probably rightfully so because both of these teams are pretty good against the East here. I believe they're both about 22 points. I just had that up. I'm just fucking switching my shit around here. Just lost the train of thought there, but for the most part, they both playing really good against the East and against the spread, but only like 20 wins plus for both teams. And as far as this matchup here, I just look at the team that's been winning before the break, man. It's really been the Raptors. Raptors won 10 out of the last 13 games. The other team here, they only won. They lost 11 out of the last 14 games. So I'm just going to think that, like you mentioned, it's really a fuck Borrego campaign going on right here for me when it comes to the Hornets. I'm trying to get him up out of there for Melo could be a little bit more free. And that being the case, they need to lose games. So I think they lose today. And I like the Raptors here. I think the over is probably the best play here, but at this point, I haven't bet it. But that's the way I'm looking at it. As far as what Skee said, either Pascal prop, Toronto full game, or the over here. I think that's probably all good live plays there.
Yeah, the Raptors' form going into the break, the Hornets' bad form going into the break, and then you look at the ATS numbers lately. 6-1 ATS last 7 road games for the Raptors. Hornets are 0-4. ATS is a home dog in their last 4. I mean, the trends back Toronto, the current form of both teams going into the break backs Toronto, and yet only -2 in this game. But and again, I worry about this break disrupting the Raptors a little bit in momentum. But I could only take Toronto. Dutch, what do you think? Toronto, Charlotte.
Yeah, man. Real quick, I meant to get to this earlier. DC Sports Breaks, man. Big shout out to you for the $4.99 dono. See, this is why we need the big show here, man. We missed the motherfucker, believe it. But we appreciate you, my guy. I was loaded and I forgot to mention it. He likes
thank you for the dono. I missed it too.
Yeah, man. Yeah, y'all can help me out a little bit here, goddammit. But no, yeah, big shout out. He like Fred VanVleet to get back on the 3-pointers, I believe he said, for redemption from that 3-point contest. I see you, my dude. Real Deal Prime saying that Raptors easy money. He gonna parlay it. Easy money, bro. Don't fucking parlay it there, man. Just drop the house on the motherfucker. But hey, I believe really this game is exotic as a motherfucker, to be honest with you. I really want to bet the Raptors, but I agree, it's too easy. Like it looks too easy. The trend, everything to it, and now OG's out. I wouldn't be surprised if the Hornets win this game. I could be leaving money on the table, but it's going to be an exotic backwood for me. Yeah, there's 3 motherfucking backwoods in a row. But this is exotic as a motherfucker. I have a feeling I'm leaving money on the table here, but, I just don't like the feeling of this game. Kind of like the Grizzlies yesterday, as I mentioned to you pre-show.
There we go. All right, that's 3 for 3 Backwoodville for Dutch.
I got games, though. I got games.
He's coming. He's warming up. He's getting the engine revved up.
I'm nervous for my under 5.5. I'm nervous.
Yeah. Well, still some time left. How about this one next up? We still got time. There's for sure. All right, we got San Antonio and Washington now. Next up here, we've got the Spurs. Right now, 3.5 point road favorites, 224 the total in this game. Money coming in on the Spurs. Here's another team that the Wizards, for the most part, just weren't playing well going into the break. They did beat Brooklyn and Detroit, couple of wins prior to the break, but it's not anything that you're really all that excited about necessarily. The Spurs, 3 of their last 4, they beat Atlanta on the road, which was very impressive. They beat the Pelicans on the road, which was also a nice, impressive win because they were dogs, and the Pelicans have been actually pretty decent at home. They battled the Bulls pretty tough, but ended up losing by 11. They had a bad fourth quarter. And then they got the 8-point win at OKC, the last game prior to the break. I like the Spurs here. I agree with the way this line has moved a little bit. I think sometimes coming out of the All-Star break, it's better to be on the road as well, as opposed to being at home. And I think you might see that here tonight in this matchup with the Spurs and the Wizards. As far as Washington goes, it's just a team that struggled, scuffled offensively. I made this silly decision to trust their offense even against Indiana, and they only scored 108 in that game. They've definitely had a tougher time putting the ball in the basket as of late. Of course, it looks like Neto, Kispert, Caldwell, Pope, Kuzma, Bryant, apparently a game-time decision. We'll see if he is able to suit up, but definitely they've had some issues with finding consistent offensive support, really, during this time. That continues to be a problem for them. Of course, it's not going to get any easier with Bradley Beal out for the season. He ain't coming back for Washington. So where do they turn to offensively ends up being the big question. San Antonio, I know defensively they can struggle at times, but this is a bottom-of-the-barrel offensive team. I think the Spurs played some really good, better basketball going into the break. They're relatively healthy for the most part, other than Romeo Langford and Josh Richardson are the main absences, but they've got DeJounte Murray, Devin Vassal's healthy again, Doug McDermott, Keldon Johnson, and Pirtle, the big guy in the paint. They're relatively all hands on deck. I think San Antonio wins the game. I agree with where this line has gone. Skee, what do you think? Spurs, Wizards?
All I can say is, before the break, I was pretty. The Spurs' first quarter was a thing, so I didn't really look up the numbers. But if I had to play them, I probably would like them early, get in and get out, and that's all I really have for this game. So I think if you go back and look at the numbers, you'll find nice trends for the Spurs, and I don't think the Wizards' first quarter numbers are great either.
All right, so maybe early. First quarter in particular, Skee interested maybe in that specifically for San Antonio tonight. Dutch, what do you think here, San Antonio, Washington?
Yeah, man. Big shout out to our guy JPZ and TAC. And Wham Bam coming back. Good thing we got you back. Letting them know, too. 62 motherfucking likes. Yo, that shit is this.
His volume's gone out now. Uh-oh.
You see, look, I about dipped out on you motherfuckers because of that shit. You know what I'm saying? I about left. Straight up
They trying to stop us, bro. They trying
Give
to
me a
stop us. They
hundo
can't
right.
stop the
Come on
show.
now.
They
231
can't stop
live
the show.
views, 62 likes. This
Yeah.
motherfucking respectful. Let's fix that.
This
Come on.
Let him know,
motherfucker.
Ian. Let him know, bro. Come on,
now.
that's straight up, man. Let's get it to a hundo right, goddamn now. But
That's right.
yeah, hey, let's hit it like these motherfuckers San Antonio Spurs about to hit these motherfucking Wizards straight over the head. I agree with everything my man Ian said. I echo everything he said. And you know, we like to say there's levels to this shit. And the Wizards are on the bottom of the fucking barrel. And the Spurs are like maybe even 1.5 levels above these motherfuckers, if you ask me, especially with the roster that the Wizards are putting out there. I believe the San Antonio Spurs have the best player on the court, a deeper roster, and obviously a better coach. I look for these boys to come out here and handle them. You want to get in? You want to get in and get out? Go ahead. I'm going to get in and hang around a little bit. Trifecta spot this motherfucker, but I really like the full game -3. Give me the better team full game, to be honest with you, for the real money. But yeah, try if you want to bet first quarter, first half, it's all good here because San Antonio is gonna fucking thump these boys. They're 6-0, 6-0-1 ATS last 7 versus a losing team against the number. Now they're 3-0 straight up and against the number last 3 meetings versus the Wizards. Average win 13 points per game, averaging 127 points per game, shooting 52% from the field. I believe Murray and the rest of these boys will get to the hole at will, do whatever the fuck they want with these cats. And it's like almost when they go to Washington now, it's not like they just beating the Wizards. It's like they beating fucking Joe Biden's ass or something. These motherfucking Wizards are 2-11-1 in the last 14 at home against the number. So when they step down, when whoever touched down in DC, they are mad as fuck and they're ready to thump these boys. And it doesn't help that these motherfuckers just ain't that good at the end of the day. They're 4-15-1 last 20 against the number. So if you're fading the motherfucking Wizards, you're eating very good, and that's what we're gonna do tonight. Load up on the San Antonio Spurs -3, 3.5. That's good money.
And this has always been a good period of the season to bet on San Antonio. This rodeo
Right.
road trip that they have annually. This is a continuation of it. They, got altered by the All-Star break a little bit. It got broken up into 2 parts, but they got 3 more games on this rodeo road trip. They had a bunch of them before the break, and now they have 3 more on the road coming out of the All-Star break before they finally return home. And you can go back to when Parker and Ginobili and Duncan were on these Spurs team in their heyday, even a few years ago or last decade when Kawhi and Danny Green were on the team. Every year, the Spurs maybe fucked around in October, November, December, January, but once that rodeo road trip came around in February, that's when you start betting on them. That's when they crank it up. That's when they start playing better basketball, trying to make that push, play their best late in the season going into the playoffs. And that's kind of what this San Antonio team's been doing a little bit too. And they want to make the playoffs. All the quotes are, we want to make a push for the postseason here coming out of the All-Star break. So I think you get the Spurs trying to rev it up right out of the gate starting tonight here in Washington. Wham, what do you think here, Spurs and Wizards?
Yeah, man, I definitely agree with everything you guys said. The Spurs, they ended the first half of the season on a 4-game road trip, like you mentioned, the rodeo road trip. They got 3 more to go, and they play the Heat tomorrow, so that is something you want to maybe factor in. But as far as them coming out early, I agree with Skee here. I think they are one of those teams that's going to come out early. So, shout outs for Jimmy giving me that push. The guys in the chat, beating with the bad chat, gave me the push here. I did take the Spurs -1 on the first quarter. They are 8-2 in the last 10 first halves on the road. As far as the first halves on the road in the for the season, for the first half, I'm sorry, is 19-10 in that span. If you've been betting that, it's up 8 units there. If you've been betting the Wizards at home in the first half, you've been losing a lot of money, 9.8 units there. They're 11-9 in that regard. So they're not that good on the first half in that span. They got a lot of guys at the same place. KP coming in is going to just throw off Rui, Thomas Bryant, all those other guys. Kuzma's going to be there for sure. So some of those guys are going to be in and out. You even heard Bill talk about it. These guys are just looking for where their place is in the NBA, not necessarily about this team. So this is a team that I think that's going to be on a decline towards the end of the second half. And I think you may be right, Babano. This may be a team that might be finding a little spunk down late in the second half, which they always do under Coach Popovich, like you mentioned. So I do agree with the San Antonio Spurs full game here. But as far as the props that I did take was Keldon Johnson, and I didn't get to talk about this at all. I'm just going to make it real brief. It's at 15.5 where I got it at. 16.5, I endorsed that as well over the last 11 games. He's had 18. He's averaged 18.5 in his hits. When he hits this number at 16 and a half, 15 and a half, he averages about like 20 times. So it's been one of those things that's a good look as far as Keldon Johnson being that guy for this team. And obviously the reason why the total is going up from 15 to 16 is probably a good look. So I like the 16 and a half as well. If you could get the 15, I say just stick around. You may be able to get the 15. It went from 16 earlier today. Then it dropped after the show with Jimmy. It went to 15 where I got it again at. So you may be able to find a 15 and a half. You never know. So that's where I got it at 15 and a half with Keldon Johnson. Again, it's hit 8 out of the last 10. 11 times, the last 11 games averaging 18 and a half points.
All right, great stuff there. All right, Heat and Knicks. We got Miami, 6-point road favorites, 211 the total. So it's Miami or pass. I decided I'm going to pass. It's laying 6 now instead of 4. It's a moderate number. The Knicks are talking like, hey, we're going to try to fight till the end and try to get back in this thing. I think they're 4.5 games out of just never mind a playoff spot, a play-in spot. Not just the playoffs. We're talking play-in. Play-in? Yeah, we're talking play-in spot here for the Knicks. They're not even a real playoff spot, just that stupid play-in format. They're 4.5 out of that. So you're right. They need to go on a serious run, but I'm not putting a penny of my money on the New York Knicks until I see evidence that they're capable. And the last time we saw them suit up prior to the All-Star break was about as pathetic as it gets, blowing that game against Brooklyn. 28-point lead. They end up losing 111-106. And I was on Brooklyn. I was happy. So it's Miami or nothing for me. I'm going to pass it, though. So let me fire up my own backwood right now. There it is. Backwood for me. Dutch, Heat versus Knicks.
Yeah, man. This exotic motherfucking plane to me. I'm gonna hit this. I'm gonna hit it. And I'm gonna hit it hard. Shit, I might double down on this bitch. Go back and give me some more. Really, it's only 5. I locked in a 5.5, 6. That shit don't scare me. Yeah, it is a public play. I believe my man Don Mack touched on that. But you know, this to me is just good money. There's, like we said earlier, there's levels to this shit, and Miami is leaps and bounds. I believe Miami is very undervalued in future bets. You know, we talked about this before. I just think they're undervalued, very undervalued, team. So look for Miami to come out and just do what they do and play defense and just overwhelm a team for 48 minutes. I believe they're just simply better than the Knicks. They might fuck around. Knicks could get in first half or something if you want to get cute. But by the end of the game, Miami will be up by 10 plus, I believe. Hero, I believe they're all healthy. I don't know. Somebody could be scratched. Someone could be out. But as long as Jimmy Buckets is in there, Big Bam is out there, and, get Duncan Robinson, stroke a couple of them threes, and it's easy. Before you know it, they're down 12-15. I just don't like where the Knicks are going. They can say whatever the fuck they want. The roster isn't improving to me. And I think Bam is going to have his way. Jimmy will get his. And then, of course, Kyle Lowry's back to run the show, which creates, better positions for, Stress and the cat that we talked about slipped on mine, but the backup point guard. But the Heat are money on the road, man. They're 5-0-1 last 6 as a road favorite, 4-0-1 last 6, 5 overall on the road, and they travel well to New York. 4-1 against the number last 5 in the NY, 7-2 against these boys last 9 meetings. So I think that Miami's just gonna come in and just run them over, and really these two teams play January 26th. It was a 14-point win in Miami as a 6-point favorite. So I think the line's pretty telling, being a 5.5, 6-point favorite on the road. I think it's good money right here with the Heat.
All right, liking the Heat -5.5. Man, this is gonna be one of those games I look back at the end of the night, and if Miami wins by double digits, I'm gonna be like, why the hell didn't I lay the points with them? I mean, I'm close, but I don't know. I'm gonna give the Knicks a chance to back up their words with action on the basketball court, and their words are, we're not dead yet. We're going to bring it after the All-Star break, try to get back in it, but I got to see it before I believe it. By the way, Kemba Walker out for the rest of the season, it was announced. Is anybody going to shed tears over that? It's been a bad fit from the beginning for the Knicks with him, so I don't think anybody's going to be overly banging their head against the wall over that bit of news. Wham, what do you think? Heat, Knicks?
Yeah, again, I know we're not supposed to use recent performance. This is a new slate for a lot of these teams, and hopefully it is a new slate for the New York Knicks, but I don't think so. I just believe that they're going to miss the playoffs. That's going to be cash there. And then as far as this team, I mean, since they had Kemba Walker, me and my guy Skee, we've been calling it, bro. They've been fucking trash. Like, that's the reason why we took them to not make the playoffs, bro. Like, it was only right. And at this point, You've seen there the production from Julius Randle, like me and my guy Babano said, week after week, just continue to be wasted. Don't be surprised if he goes over the 22.5 points. But actually, I'm anti-Knicks today. I just think it's like my guy Dutch say, this is just clear leaps and bounds. A team that's just better than the other. These guys ended the half only winning two games out of 10. You know what I'm saying? Like that's terrible, bro. You know what I mean? And this other team, they've been fucking killing. Out of the last few games there that they played as far as Miami and their defense, and they're getting more healthier. They got guys actually on the road trip here now, Morris and Oladipo participating in the Thursday practice. Most likely those guys come back as well. Probably not looking too good for Oladipo, to be honest, with the videos that they're coming out there. But I ain't going to speak too much about that. But I'm not thinking he's going to be that much of a help there. But I think what they have already is good enough. I like Duncan Robinson to ball out. Last game he played against these guys, he had a game high of 25 points, shot 7 from 11 from 3. Tyler Hero is probably questionable, I believe, still. At this moment, we don't have any information. If he's in or out, I think if he's out, obviously it's going to help. But if he's in, I still don't think he's going to stop this. He was in the game the last game when he had the game high, so against this team. So I believe that Duncan Robinson still gets those attempts. If that's the case, go over the 3.5 3-point makes for him at plus 170. I got it last night. It's at plus 160, something around there right now. And then you could get the 11.5 points. If he's going to hit 4 fucking threes, he's going to have 12 points. So I'm going to take the 11.5 points as well. 11.5 points at plus money for Duncan Robinson. That's the way I'm looking in this game. I do believe that the Heat are the side for sure. I do like the Heat in this game. It's just the fucking primetime Knicks. Somehow, some way, they find a way to do it against us. They beat the damn Boston. They did some other shit crazy, and it was all Evan Fournier hitting impeccable shots. So I'm going to stay away from that, to be honest with you. But I am rooting for everyone that takes the Heat here, and I'm rooting for Duncan Robinson especially. So that's that's what I'm rocking with.
And RJ Barrett is a game time decision. He's practicing this week. Makes you think he's going to play. The fact he was practicing all week for the Knicks, but still listed as a game time decision with that ankle tonight for the Knicks. Man, you know what? I'm going to actually take that. And now that Paulie has brought it up in the chat, over 108.5 team total Miami. I think it can get there. Scored 110 on the Knicks earlier this year. And then I don't have to worry about laying the 6. It's a better method, better bet, in my opinion, maybe now than laying the 6 is Miami over 108.5. And the Knicks defense is falling apart. Going into the break, it fell apart. They gave up 111 to Brooklyn, 127 to OKC, 112 to Portland, 114 to Golden State, 132 to Denver, 130. I mean, they've given up more than 108.5 in so many games of late. So I think the Heat team total, I'll probably end up getting on that. It's a good number. What do you think, Skee, here, Miami, New York?
James Kelly, I see you in the chat. SG with it. Ian, I probably can agree with that team total. I'm not sure if they're still the best over team in the league, but they're up there. And I see they're averaging right around. I think they're averaging 109 points per game on the road. So that gets you up and over the number you need to get to. And Knicks last 2 weeks allowing 116.7. Like Wham said, and like I always say, a lot of my capping is recent performance. So I can't use a lot of stuff I usually do. But I'm going to just say, the Knicks stink. The Knicks suck. Like Wham said, that's why we took them to miss the playoffs. I took the win total under. They're just not a good unit. So Miami is, and they have a reason to play. They can still push their half game out of number 1. I'm pretty sure they want to finish on top of the Eastern Conference. So I would say it starts tonight, and Miami probably early and often.
All right, we got Philadelphia, Minnesota next up. Sixers, 2.5 point road favorites, 229 the total in this game. This is a classic spot where you have Minnesota playing last night back-to-back, but they have a game under their belt for the All-Star break. Philadelphia is playing their first game in 8 days following the All-Star break. And a lot of times the team that has the game under their belt is the team with the advantage. So it's not, for me, a bet that I'm looking to make now with Philadelphia as a road favorite. I don't know if I'll be on Minnesota either, but, I do think there's something to the fact that Minnesota's played a game, Philly hasn't, and that could be good for the Timberwolves tonight. I like the over. I agree with the move going up on the total. Minnesota's an over machine right now. I think they're going to probably struggle to contain Embiid, though, inside, like most teams do. But on the flip side, on the second of back-to-backs, defensively, you could see a little bit of a fall-down effect here for the Timberwolves. And look, this Philadelphia team, I think definitely capable of scoring. And we know how good Minnesota is offensively. When they have everybody healthy, Beverly, Russell, Edwards, Vanderbilt, and Towns, that starting five, they're pretty damn impressive offensively. And I think they'll score. Again, Philly's defense not playing in a week since the break. Could be a little rusty on defense tonight, this Sixers team. Normally a good defensive team. I could see them giving up some points tonight. So more than anything, I like the over here. Dutch, how about you here? Sixers, Wolves.
Yeah, man. Big shout out to our girl Jacqueline, Keith Wicks. I see you, my dude Rance, Joshua. Yeah, you can back with this motherfucker. I'm not touching this game.
All right, there you go. Backwood time for Dutch. And of course, James Harden, finally. How did I miss speaking about that? He's going to make his Sixers debut. You know what he's going to do, and that's help them offensively, obviously. So another reason why I like the over here is Harden tries to put on a show in his Philly debut. Wham, what do you think here? Philly, Minnesota.
Yeah, man, you missed that because it ain't really gonna be too much of a help here. I think you called it right there. I think this is a T Wolves spot. I like the T Wolves here. Reason why line hasn't moved too much. You said it earlier on another game here. This is not a normal back to back. This is not a road back to back either. This is a home and home. They went back to the house. Anthony Edwards had to figure out how he had that badass game. They come back and try to smack up the damn 76ers here. I expect him to play well. Last game against D'Lo, against this team, D'Lo had 35 points. He just came off a 37 performance here. Beasley balled out. I was about to call him something else, bro. Malik Beasley, bro, he balled out. He balled out, bro, and shot 70% from three. I expect him to feel some type of way, man. He's ranked dead last as far as his rank on players that's in the rotation. So, and they got that ranking today as far as the team. So, you may be looking at that like, maybe you need to keep rising his stock up. He was supposed to be a lot better than what he was prior to the season starting. So, I expect the T Wolves to play really well here. That's the way I'm leaning here. I'm leaning towards the T Wolves to finish the full game here and beat the Philadelphia 76ers. I just think he may be throwing off the rotation here. Tyrese Maxey, we know it's going to affect him for sure. And are these shooters, are they really shooters, man? They may allow James Harden to shoot a lot, which the Nets seemed like they didn't want to because they had more guys that was more efficient. So they don't have really guys efficient here on this side. They got Tobias Harris and shit. So they may be just letting James Harden just shrunk it up. Maybe he gets it going. I've seen his few performances when he debuts games, plays pretty well. So maybe he plays off and goes off, but maybe not enough to win the Minnesota here, the point battle. So we know they're going to score. I like Minnesota here to come out.
Yeah, and we know James Harden what he can do, but just stick him in all of a sudden to the starting five with not playing with this group before. Is the cohesion there right off the hop? That's a big question. Not a for sure. What do you think here, Skee? Oh, Skee's muted.
Yeah.
My bad. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
Okay. All right. I'm kind of agreeing with what Wham is saying there. I think I don't really want to play this game, but if I was, I think Harden is going to, try to make a statement because everybody's, talking about him because the decisions he makes. So, I think he wants to prove people wrong. Like Wham said, I don't have the numbers, but I feel like when he came to Brooklyn, he played well immediately. So I think he's going to do the same thing tonight. I would be betting Harden props over, whether it's PRA or maybe assist. I mean, he'll probably be two-man game with Embiid as well as getting other people involved. So Harden is the way to go if I'm playing this game.
All right,
just to say, his Nets debut, he had 32 points, 12 rebounds, 14 assists, shooting at 44%, 30% from three. So he shot 10 threes in that game. It was like, oh, hold on, he ain't efficient. Let me just let fucking Patty Mills shoot more. And that's probably why that shit ended up being bad. But in Rockets debut, shot 40%, still 10 attempts from three, and he had 37 points. So both times he had 30 plus in those games there. So you may be right, maybe getting all the touches, bro.
Definitely. All right, next up we've got, as we continue along here, Dallas and Utah. Utah, 5.5-point home favorites, 217 the total. We've only got 10 minutes, so I'll be brief. I like Dallas a little bit here, plus the points. I'm interested with the better defensive team, which I think Dallas has been for the large part. I mean, they went into the break playing well, 6-1 straight up, 6-1 against the spread, their last 7 going into the break. Utah was playing well also. Don't get me wrong, 6 wins, but they've got that streak snapped in a horrible fourth quarter against the Lakers, and they ended up losing that game. You look at this previous meeting, it happened on Christmas Day. Dallas was banged up to shit at that time. A lot of injuries for the Mavericks. They were 13.5-point underdogs in Utah, and they only lost by 4. And now they're much healthier, and their defense is playing a lot better. Their whole team is playing a lot better now. I like them with the points here. Dallas Mavericks plus 5.5. Dutch, how about you? Mavs, Jazz.
Yeah, big shout out to our guy Alfonso Scott. Honestly, man, this game I wanted to bet the Mavericks, but I looked at it and I'm like, damn, man, I don't really want to step in front of Utah right now. I like the Mavericks. Luka Don's my guy, but I could see Utah doing their thing tonight. So this is exotic as a motherfucker. Backwood number 5. Yeah,
there we go. That's like Lou Bega, ladies and gentlemen. This is Backwood number 5. Dun, 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 dun. Remember that song from the 90s? There, Backwood number 5. There we go. Wham, what do you think here, Dallas and Utah?
Yeah, man, this is backwood for me as well. But I do like the Mavericks here in this spot, so I definitely am thinking you're on the right side of this, Babano. It's just that I don't have any way of betting against this team. I think Coach Snyder probably get these guys to figure it out. They lost bad with the Lakers, bro. That was down bad moment, bro. Probably the worst of their season. So, getting a chance to relive that throughout the day is probably get them right today. So I'll stay away from it.
Yeah, Bo Jackson, don't go there. You're going to get me singing that little bit of Monica in my life, little bit of Erica by my side, little bit of Rita's all I need, little bit of Tina's what I see. I remember that. Skee, what do you think here? Dallas and Utah.
They're talking about that over 5.5. They waiting to cash. I don't know. I'm holding on hope. I'm a back with this game myself, though. I don't have nothing on Dallas and Utah.
All right, Backwood for Skee, and Skee at Backwood is telling because it's not as many for him on a daily basis here. All right, we go to the next game on the slate. It is New Orleans and Phoenix. We got the Suns, 6.5-point home favorites, 229 the total in this one. So the Suns kind of fucked up my plans here. I thought for sure they'd be vulnerable against the Thunder, and I did cash the first half with the Thunder, but I thought they'd be life and death to win that game and be a little bit lackadaisical, but no, they put it pedal to the metal late in that game and they pulled away. It was a 6-point game in the fourth quarter, and then they just poured it on. Oklahoma City, the defense came to life for Phoenix, and they pulled away and they won by 20. So now they're on a back-to-back. Pelicanos haven't played a game since the break, so Phoenix has a game under their belt. I don't know if I want to back them laying these points, but I think there's always advantages for teams that have played since the break versus teams that haven't. So I guess I'd lean Phoenix a little bit, but I'm going to stay off this game. It's a backwood for me. I'm a little surprised the total's this high. In fact, it's pretty high for considering the situation here with this 230 now is what we're looking at. So it's going to be a backwood for me here. Skee, what about you with Pelicans Suns?
No, I like this game. I like if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I like CJ McCollum. His point prop when I took it was 22.5. I think you can still get that. I checked before the show, unless it's moved, at least on BetMGM. But he's averaged 28.4 points per game in his 5 games in the Pelicans uniform. The last 3 seasons, he's played the Suns 7 times. He averages 25 points per game. And just look at the teams he's been playing. It's not like he's playing bad defensive teams or anything. Dallas, Memphis, Toronto, Miami, and then, of course, one in there, San Antonio. But he's doing his thing, so I don't see anybody stopping him tonight. Phoenix on a second of a back-to-back. I think defense is going to go out the window, when they get tired. So McCollum over his points tonight.
They're actually getting outscored points per game on back-to-backs, Phoenix, this year. 110 scored, 112 allowed. So, if you follow those, maybe Pelicans hang around. We'll see. Wham, what do you think here, New Orleans, Phoenix?
Yeah, I'm right there with you, man. I don't have any action on this game, but I do think that New Orleans is really live in this spot. So I do like the CJ McCollum spot. Last 5 games, he hit that 4 times, and there's the 15th ranked in position that he's going up against right now. So I do agree with that look for my guy, Skee.
Dutch.
Yeah, man. I like the Pelicanos. I locked it in at plus 7.5. I mean, that honestly, they've been playing good against the number of late, especially on the road. CJ, our guys touched on it, been coming in there doing his thing. Surprisingly to me as well, just, fitting right in, shooting it. It was a perfect fit, to be honest with you. I would like them. My one thing about them is obviously the point guard. I would like to see. I don't think they really have a point guard out there, so that's one thing to me. But then you look at the Suns, and they kind of missing both of their point guards as well. And I believe Holiday is out as well. But I like the Pelicanos here. I'll endorse it at 6.5 because I think the Pelicans can win this game. I wouldn't be surprised if they win this game outright. Obviously, the Suns aren't a back-to-back. You could look at it as you will. But I just think the Pelicans can beat this team right now. They're 4-0 ATS. Last 4 as a road dog, 6-0 against the number, last 6 on the road. So take the 6.5. I think it's good money, man. I just think that they'll be able to out-rebound the Suns. Key thing here is obviously the Pelicans can hit the offensive boards. I believe Big Val will be in there doing that. BI should be able to get his. And obviously CJ needs to knock down some open jumpers. But I like this. I like this squad here. And as long as they can move the ball and hit them offensive boards, I believe they can get out of Phoenix maybe with a W here. But take the points. It's good money.
All right, take the points for Dutch with the Pelicans against the Suns. All right, we wrap it up. Battle of L.A., final game, Clippers-Lakers. We got the Lakers 3-point home favorites, 222 the total. I really don't want to back either team. Clippers did play better going into the break. You'll give them credit for that. 4-point spread covers in a row going into the break. They beat Dallas, which was a nice win. They hammered Golden State. They hammered Houston. And the Suns was a close game, 103-96. They lost by 7, but they covered in defeat. The Lakers weren't playing well going into the break until they had that miraculous fourth quarter against Utah, and they came back and they won 106-101. So I don't know. They use that as a springboard to try to push, for a strong finish to a disappointing season. Anthony Davis is still out. LeBron is probably going to play tonight. I can see Wham already, the torture in his eyes and in his face talking about this Laker team. It's a backwood for me. It's lots of question marks. I could make a case for either team. Gun to my head, I'd lean the Clippers +3, but no. I think the Lakers actually might be bolstered by the comeback against Utah. I could see them maybe just, riding some kind of wave out of that. Who knows? And Clippers are so erratic that I'm not ready to back them or trust them. Wham, we'll start with you here, Clippers-Lakers.
Yeah, man, I'll just say what I have written down here. The Lakers must have some type of urgency, man. Clutch Sports, they out there dropping gems that, LeBron might be going to Cleveland with his son, Bronny, trying to just play with his son there, whatever. Malik Monk doesn't care. He's just trying to count his check that he's going to be cashing this summer, so it doesn't matter for him. And Russ, he has to be some type of motivator. He blew the last game by allowing Reggie to split the damn defenders in overtime where we could have won the game. But now we haven't beat this team since the bubble, and it's been just bad. I mean, this is a bad taste in my mouth. We lost to Ty Lue. They got Ty Lue. We could have got Ty Lue. It's all fucking fell flat since then. So to be honest with you, I think the Clippers can be competitive here, but I kind of would agree with you, though, Babana, if you did say, I think I heard you mention that they should start some type of run. I think they have some type of urgency here. I mean, Clutch Sports letting y'all know this shit is about to be over, man. We can't get rid of everybody, you know what I'm saying? But we just could leave and just leave this shit here and just join Darius Garland and that nice sparkling Cavs team. So it's just annoying as hell. But to be honest with you, I'm not gonna tell y'all to bet the Lakers here, but that's the way I'm looking here, man. I ain't bet it yet. I'm probably not gonna bet it. If I do, it's gonna be in private. Ain't nobody gonna know. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be on the low. So I'll just be honest with y'all. I'm just keeping it honest with y'all. But I'm not telling y'all to bet shit. I just don't. I gotta be thinking that this shit gotta be personal, bro. I gotta think this shit gotta be personal, bro. It's the Clippers, man. The fucking Clippers. We
5-0 straight up. They are 4-1 ATS. The Clippers against the Lakers.
Finally covered last game. Finally covered.
Yep.
Damn near did that. Come on, man. We gotta do this shit today.
We'll see. Can they finally beat the Clippers? Dutch, what do you think?
Yeah, man. I mean, I got it on, man. I think I've had a solid read against these Lakers, fading them, getting them at the right time towards the end of the before the break. They did obviously get me against Utah. Big win for them. I thought Utah would go in there and handle business and drop into 4.5. But yeah, man, I think the Lakers can bounce back off of that. I really do. This is a Laker. They've lost 5 straight to these motherfuckers, man. I mean, come on. If you can't come out of the break right now, LBJ feeling probably about as good as he's gonna feel. I mean, you gotta do something. I believe that they'll win this game. They're 3-1 ATS last 4 at the house. They're actually 5-2 against the number last 7, 8-3 straight up last 11 at the house. So I mean, I know this is a home game for both people here, But yo, Lakers, win this fucking. If you don't win this motherfucking game, shit, I might not rock this motherfucker. I back to auto fade. Back to auto fade. Come on, LBJ. You touched on Russ. This motherfucker had a break, probably his worst all-star break in probably his career, I would mention, right? I mean, you'd have to say it had to be a rough motherfucking week for Russ in that home. So I'm not gonna tell you to bet Russ props, but his ass better show the fuck out because I need a W tonight in LA. And I will, and I do believe the Lakers will clip motherfucking Los Angeles. And they are 5-1 ATS last 6 in conference. Just show up and play some fucking basketball, rebound, and a little bit of defense, please, Lakers. Let's get this W. Drop the -1.5, whatever it is. Lakers win.
And that was probably the 18th time on this show someone has said this year, if the Lakers don't win tonight, they're done. They're auto fades. We're writing them off for the rest of the season. This is like the 18th time we've said that this year about this.
I didn't realize. I fixed it. I
We
said
could make a clip of all of us saying that for sure.
I fixed it mid-sentence. I'll go back to an auto fade. But you're right, Momento. These motherfuckers.
Skee, I know you've gone round and round in circles with this bunch. What do you think, Clippers, Lakers?
No, it's no more round and round, nothing, man. I waved the white flag. I'm done. I'm good. There's no way in hell I'm laying points. No way. If I'm playing this game, I gotta bet the over. No Anthony Davis, no defense for the Lakers. Clippers don't really play that much defense either, so that's the only way I can really look here. No way in hell am I backing the Lakers. I can see LeBron giving in at any point, and he's on the injury report. Man. Yeah, I see Alfonso Scott. He set the line at -500. I wasn't on the Lakers. He said, "I've had enough." You're absolutely right. I'm done. I'm through.
That's it, and that tells you all you need to know. When Skee's had enough of the Lakers, it's gotten too far with them for sure, and too far down the shithole, if you will. With the LA Lakers. Great stuff. Great Friday show. 306 live viewers. Come on, hit that like button before we get to best bets and Dutch's freshest look, which is coming up after this. All right, Southtown 101. When you're in San Antonio, Texas, stop in. Great food, drinks, live music, DJs, karaoke, Manscaped, promo code PubSports, 20% off your purchase using, you can get Lawnmower 4.0, any Manscaped product, 20% off with promo code PubSports, mybookie.ag, NBA, college basketball, NHL, UFC. Sign up for an account, mybookie.ag, Bitcoin accepted currency for your deposit, mybookie.ag, promo code PubSports. All right, it's time for Friday Best Bets, Dutch's freshest look. Let's start with Wham. What do you got for best bet?
Let's get it, man. Let's go. Let's go ahead back down to H-Town, where where we trying to get around, man. We trying to pass the damn ball. We're trying to get it to my dog, KPJ, over 6.5 assists at -120, -118. I think you can get it right now, bookmaker. Go ahead and get that, man. KPJ over 6.5 assists. Let's go.
There we go. KPJ for Wham with his best bet. Skee, what do you got for best bet?
Yeah, we're gonna rock with CJ McCollum over 22.5 points. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
All right, there we go. CJ McCollum, New Orleans Pelicans. Dutch, without your little sound effect, because I can't find the damn thing. Freshest look.
Yeah, man. Freshest look. We're going to AC, and the sun will not rise in Arizona. No. Yeah, man. Hey, actually, my fault. I fucked up there. My fault. I fucked up. Hey, I'm not going there. I'm going to fucking DC. Well, hey, and the essays are gonna take over motherfucking Washington. All right, and we're gonna drop the 3 on San Antonio. You already know it's tequila and churro time. That's my best look. That's a 2-unit play. San Antonio Spurs -3. That's good money. My fault.
Good money. Loaded. There we go. All right. Good stuff there with Dutch. freshest look for a Friday. And my best bet, it's going to be let's do the Philly Minnesota. I like that over 229. I think it makes a lot of sense. We cashed by a half a damn point with the Golden State Portland over last night. Hopefully it'll be a little easier tonight. Sixers and Timberwolves over 229 for my best bet. 13-3 run with best bets on the show for yours truly. Let's see if we can add to it here tonight on the NBA Pub Hub. And that'll wrap up this edition of the NBA Pub Hub. Thanks to everyone for joining us. Hit the like button on the way out. Have a great weekend. We're back on Monday, 4 p.m. Eastern, with a brand new week of shows, a full week of shows next week for the NBA Pub Hub. Net Profit, college basketball, Maxwell Smart, Connor Max, starting right now on Pub Sports Radio for Dutch, for Wham, and for Skee. I'm Ian Cameron. Have a great Friday night and weekend. Enjoy the games and good luck. We'll see you again Monday, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific, for another edition of the NBA Pub Hub right here on Pub Sports Radio. Dutch, take us home.
Yeah, man. Hey, I was thinking about the Pelicanos because 7.5, but that number's not out there no more. Hey, but you know where it's at, Pub Sports Radio. Be sure to hit that motherfucking like button, share the video, and subscribe if you have not. Y'all stay fresh, stay blessed. Let's stay putting these motherfucking bookies to rest. Yeah, man.